Good team win. Pretty disjointed game for a variety of reasons, but I thought our guys really dug in. Indiana, they're a talented team. They play really fast. They can score in bunches, and so there were a couple different pockets in the game where they made runs back at us, and our guys stayed the course, continued to try to move the ball. Obviously, I think, we need to clean up our turnovers. Our press offense could probably use a little bit of work. But I'm proud of the guys. Those games are hard to play. It's hard to play, as weird as it sounds, it's hard to play when you're up big for a long period of time. The other team continues to really push the pace back at you. And I thought our guys kept their mental focus for the most part for more than 48 minutes.
How difficult is it to kind of feel like you have any sort of momentum when there are so many whistles in a game?
Yeah. There is a flow to a basketball game. And when there's a lot of fouling going on, that can lead to some of that disjointed feeling that I was talking about. Also turnovers in bunches can give you that same feeling. So it was an odd night. This happens, a couple times during a season where you have a game that just is a little bit clunky. But I think it's better to win these games than to lose them, for sure.
What was the key to that 17-0 run at the end of the first half?
I thought our guys just maintained their aggressiveness. Our pace didn't slow down. I thought it was on both ends of the floor. We forced a couple turnovers in a row. Vando was able to get out in transition. I think it was 2 or 3 baskets in a row off turnovers, and that kind of sparked our momentum, and then we had them on their heels for a couple minutes there. Jordan was playing with really good tempo in that last couple minutes, attacking. It's also really beneficial when you get into the bonus early in a quarter. It allows you to just attack freely, knowing that fouls are going to put you at the free throw line.
Other than shot blocking, what does Walker do best?
Alter shots, the ones he doesn't block. I mean, he is everywhere, it feels like. He's worked really, really hard. We've talked about this some recently, but he's worked really, really hard on understanding the ones that he can't block and not fouling, keeping his hands back, using his body, using verticality, and making guys have to make tough layups over him. I thought tonight was also his best game of the season, defensive rebounding, because his instinct is to go protect the rim and alter shots. He can be out of position to rebound at times, and I think he picked his spots well of when to go challenge and when to focus on rebounding. Those decisions are hard to make in real time, and the best guys in the league make more good decisions in those moments, and I think Walker's continuing to improve.
Can he be a reliable lob threat consistently?
Yes. Yeah, he has good timing. He has good hands. Even the ones that he doesn't dunk, he's shown that he can. I think he had a one-hand tip in tonight. Maybe that was an offensive rebound, but he has good hands. So it's not just the dunks; it's the ones that maybe are a little bit off target. He can still catch and put off the board and finish. But his length and his athleticism, Walker's a good athlete. He can really run and jump. So I definitely think that he's somebody that, moving forward, we're really hoping can be a consistent lob threat for us.
Do you think you're starting to get the same rhythm that you guys had, similar to the one you had at the 10-3 start?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's the exact same feeling. I will say that the last couple days have felt amazing to not think about a suitcase and head towards the airport. Our guys have been spending a little bit more time at the facility getting treatment and taking care of their bodies. It's great to be home. It's great to be home, and it's great when you have those tough moments in the game to have the home crowd behind you. I think we've had 2 games in a row where our rhythm's been pretty good, but we got to continue to keep our heads down, and we have to analyze this game just like we analyze the ones we lose. There's plenty of things from this game that we can improve.
When you're kind of deciding between if you're going to play Nikhil versus if you're going to play Talon? What's the deciding factor there?
Yeah, some of it's matchup based.
That's kind of what I mean. Like, what matchups do you like Nikhil versus Talon?
Yeah, I think Nikhil's shown the ability to chase off the ball pretty well, navigate off-ball screens. The Golden State game really stands out to me, a game where I thought he guarded Klay Thompson and those guys very well. Talon's physicality and length has been very good in pick and roll. I think his best attribute defensively right now is on the ball. And so, in a game, if the matchup is going to be somebody that's maybe more ball dominant, sometimes we'll lean towards Talon. And then Nikhil has shown the ability to come in as well. So, it's a discussion we have as a staff every day, is different lineups that we could see and what we think best suits our group for that night.
Do you coach your team to the whistle at all? Like, I guess let me say, in fouls and in the number of travels that were called tonight. Like, do you say anything about that also?
I'm sorry, what are you?
Do you coach? Do you tell them, hey, watch out how they're officiating this certain play?
Yeah. I think the plays that are coached more often, usually stuff like screening. Some nights there seems to be more of like a trigger on moving screens. Some nights it's just not. And then the other one is hand checking. Freedom of movement's a huge emphasis in the NBA, and there's some nights where you can, based on the rhythm of the game, you can put an arm on a guy when they're driving, and there's some nights you really have to show your hands. And so that stuff we talk about as the game's going on. That's hard for bench players. You check in, the game already has a feeling to it and a rhythm to it, and you can get a couple cheap ones if you're not paying attention. So we try to coach some of that stuff. Traveling, there's really nothing to say. I think guys get caught in tough spots, drag a pivot foot. It is what it is. Even though I will say I'm not sure I've seen 5 travels in a quarter by one team before.
Did you watch that?
I'm not sure they were wrong either.
Right. Sorry, I saw you watch Lauri play for Finland a lot before you guys even had him last summer. How does that compare to the way he's playing now? And was it a different role there? Are you starting to see the same production from him that he was doing over there?
Obviously, for the Finnish national team, he is the focal point. And so, he's not really put into any sort of a lane or a box. It's a little bit of everything, or a lot of everything, actually, for them. And so that's just the mindset that we've had with him, is let's not try to limit him. We've carried that over to our whole team. I think we can always, it's easy to focus on what guys can't do. And we've really tried to take the approach of looking at all of our guys and what can they do, and just try to put them in those spots as much as possible. Lauri is showing night in and night out that he's got a lot to offer. He's not just a catch and shoot player. He's not just a screener. He's not just a guy that moves around off-ball screens. He does all those things. He's good in transition. We talked before the game about, continuing to work on his pick and roll game as a handler, and he's working hard at that. So it's a luxury as a coach, for sure, to have a guy that you can really try to be creative with.
When you look back on that, was there any one moment during the Eurobasket or the World Cup qualifiers where something jumped out that you hadn't seen with him with the Bulls or the Cavs? And you said
the number of times that he got the rebound and just pushed it for them. He showed a comfort level with the ball, and I hadn't really seen that from him the places that he'd been. He was playing with really good guards in those spots in the NBA, and so that's not to discredit anything that's gone on with him before, but when you watched him play for Finland, it was, you didn't get the rebound and just go. So we took that and carried it to our whole team. We have a lot of guys who have license to push the ball. So, watching him this summer definitely helped shape a lot of our thoughts for him. And
how's everybody doing?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Hang on.
Very good.
Great, thank you, Olivia. Walker, is it tough to get into a rhythm when there's that many whistles?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was a weird game, especially that third quarter. I feel like that third quarter was like 45 minutes. But, definitely was interesting. But, we did a good job of sticking to it and got the win. So
Statistically, one of your better games. What was going right?
I think that when I'm playing with my teammates, and they're great at finding me. They understand that my advantage is my height. So they know to throw it up, and then we took care of business tonight. That's for sure. I know it wasn't the prettiest game as far as the whistle and stuff, but it was a lot of fun playing with those guys.
You haven't caught a lot of lobs so far this season, but you got, 4 tonight, it seemed like.
I don't know.
What is it? Because there are guys who are really good at catching lobs, and is that just positioning, or what is it, the timing and chemistry?
Timing, you got to have good hands. Obviously opportunistic, knowing when to move towards the goal, know when to space out, or running the floor. And then obviously, the God-given height and length doesn't help because I sure can't jump very high. But other than that,
Did you catch a lot at Auburn?
I did. Yeah, caught a good amount at Auburn.
I saw Colin, he went to the free throw line. I think it was after his first lob pass to you, and he was telling you something. It looked like he was telling you maybe to move in either later or sooner, to be ready for the lob. Was that what was happening?
I'm not gonna lie, I have no clue what you're talking about.
Excellent.
But no, Colin, he's such a fun player to play with. He was probably just saying, keep looking for it. I'm gonna keep throwing it up. So.
Yeah. Also, there was a moment where you were talking, you got called for a foul.
Okay.
And you were talking to the ref, and then you kind of were talking back to Will and some of the coaching staff. Are you just trying to figure out exactly what the foul?
Trying to learn, trying to avoid it. On that play, I kind of turned my body and went down. So that was a foul call, and and I wasn't trying to argue. I was just trying to find out why, and he told me I appreciate it. And then moving forward, try to avoid, maybe. It's just knowing when to go for a block and knowing when to go completely vertical. So kind of figuring that out, but definitely getting better at it, I feel like.
What do you think the next evolution is in your game?
That's a good question. I don't know. I have a lot to learn, obviously. I think a big part of it is being able to potentially, if need be, switch on a ball screen. I understand that being close to the rim is one of my advantages, but being able to guard that guard in a half-court scenario, I feel like that's a big step.
Anything else?
Any
Good.
more questions?
All right.